Hey guys, my name is Ragnar Tornquist and I'm the creative director of Red Thread Games.
And I'm Martin Brusgaard, I'm the design director.
And we're here to talk about Dreamfall Chapters, a sequel to The Longest Journey. And we're going to do a developer's walkthrough of Friar's Keep, a location early on in the game. And this location, you play Kian Alvane, who was a character in the previous game. He's in jail at this point, and he's awaiting his death sentence.
Yeah, he's lost all faith. He's given up, as we will be able to tell by the conversation he has here with an old acquaintance.
The warden of Friar's Keep.
Turned down your last meal. Pity. I personally approved the menu. There were sausages.
So here we're going to see the dialogue system at play, and what we're doing here is something brand new. We are giving players a chance to peek inside the mind of the characters, to get a sort of an inner thought process before choosing a line.
Yeah, we felt a lot of other games didn't really let you predict what your answer would be. You would select one answer and your character didn't really say what you intended him or her to say. So we feel like this is a good option to let you peek into the mind of the character you're playing.
Without sort of spoiling the line in a way, you sort of don't exactly know what the character is going to say, but it gives you a chance to sort of listen to that inner monologue, and that's really important to us. I mean, Dreamfall Chapters is a dialogue-heavy game. There are a lot of branching dialogues, a lot of choices you make in the dialogues that affect the rest of the game, so it's important to understand the character's motivation for doing what they're doing.
And beheading. As far as I can tell, you have yet to voice a preference.
So in this dialogue, the warden has basically come to tell Kian that he will die tomorrow morning, really, and sort of it's an interesting way to start a character's journey through a game, basically with the end of their life.
And we can tell by characters' dialogue options here that he's basically just given up.
Man, or to anyone. A warrior deserves to die by the blade. But do I deserve that death? I laid down my own sword. I turned on my own people.
But actually, in this dialogue as well, we get to know the warden a little bit better as well, which actually will come in handy later. Some of the puzzles that we implement
require you to sort of listen, to pay attention.
Then I shall make that choice. Do you have no family, Alvani? My family is very important to me, almost as important as my duty to this city and this office. In the event of my...
For new players, of course, and Dreamfall Chapters is a game that is definitely going to be fun and playable for people who haven't played Dreamfall or The Longest Journey. This sort of establishes both characters. The warden as this sort of by-the-numbers man, and Kian as this... well, he's a warrior and assassin, but at this point he's really nothing more than a dead man walking, I guess.
Simply decided to give up. To stop fighting.
I wish he would just leave. I have nothing more to say to him. I don't care about what he doesn't understand. No one can. No one will ever know why I chose to stop living. How can he understand?
I think these dialogues are super important in order to establish the characters, both for old players that have played the previous games, to see where the characters that they know, where they are in the present, sort of in this game, where are they? But also for new players to sort of give a perspective of who this is.
Absolutely. So, like Martin said, this conversation is both sort of establishing the characters, but also setting up a situation a bit later on in this walkthrough, where you have to actually remember what the warden says, and it's sort of, we want people to pay attention. I mean, this is Dreamfall Chapters is a story-driven game. It's a game of story, choices, characters, consequences. And therefore, it's a game where you have to listen. It's not like an action game where the dialogue is just sort of there to fill the blanks between the shooting. Its principle is key to the whole gameplay experience.
Get up, Kian. There isn't much time.
So at this point, the player is told to move. In this case, with the keyboard. The game also supports joypad, of course.
About bloody time. Come on.
And here we are in interaction.
What's going on? No time for answers. Let's get a move on.
It's very impatient.
What's going
He's
on
an
down
impatient
there?
man.
That boy is a made-to-order riot. We're getting you out of here.
Who are you? Do I know you?
I bloody well hope so. You were this close to running me through with your sword.
What? The Swamp City?
Precisely. Where I made a daring, swashbuckling last-minute escape, and you were arrested by your own commander. Quite a day, eh?
If you're with the Resistance, why are you helping me escape?
So that you can repay your debt and help free our city. In the meantime, we need a bloody key to get through this bloody gate.
Some of you guys who played the previous games might recognize this place. This is the Friar's Keep, where Zoe once were captured.
Yeah. So it's a jail in the city of Marcuria, in the world of Arcadia, which is a magical fantasy world. In Dreamfall chapters, we have two worlds.
What's going on out there?
One is Arcadia, and the other is Stark, which is our world in the future. A kind of a cyberpunk, dark, futuristic world. So we sort of have both universes in this game, both the sort of magical fantasy and the cyberpunk realism. And you play different characters or a different character in each world. In Arcadia, you play as Kian Alvane, at least in the beginning. And in Stark, you play as Zoe Castillo, also a returning character from Dreamfall.
So what this captain explains now is that they need to escape. And in order to do that, we need to find the key to the gate. And this is quite early in the game, so we made it so that the first puzzles, or getting the first key, is quite simple.
Around the prison.
Which will still be interesting.
Yeah, we don't want anybody to get stuck at this point. We just want them to familiarize themselves with the UI, the controls, before we sort of have more challenging gameplay. But I mean, the Dreamfall chapter is not a game about super hard puzzles. It's a game about story. It's a game about choices and consequences. And it's much more about sort of seeing these characters on their journeys through the game.
He looks badly hurt.
So here we have, again, a conversational choice.
But we can't just leave him here either. How are you feeling?
So we're going to be a little bit more pleasant. We're just not going to get right down to business, but we'll try to sort of check up on this guy, see how he's doing.
There's obviously been some sort of combat between a prisoner and a guard, and the guard is dead, but the prisoner is also dying.
He's already dead. All I can do is reassure him. There must be something we can do for him. Anything. I can't save his life, but perhaps he has some last wish that I can fulfill.
So by choosing this help him option, he will tell us about his family. And later in the game, you will be able to pay a visit to his widow and children, I guess, and to tell them what happened to him. So, you know, we are making a choice here that has a consequence later on.
Yeah, it's important for us to sort of make that promise to the players to when you do make choices in the game, you can see that it actually has an impact on the world. You will actually be able to meet that his wife
And I can't make a promise
and
that
kids
I
and
might
talk to
not be
them
able to keep.
about him, basically.
I have to promise.
And some of the choices we're going to see later on here are called decision points, where you make a choice that actually has a pretty important impact on the story.
My name is...
Just want to remind everybody that we're playing a pre-alpha version of Dreamfall chapters here, so there's a lot of stuff that's unfinished. Some of the voices are placeholders, some of the art, animations, and etc. The game is not due out for another year. So, you know, you're going to see things that are basically unfinished. So we're going to search the garden, we found the key. So really not a very difficult puzzle, Mr. Design Director.
No, as I said, we wanted the first one to be quite simple. I think all of them, or none of the puzzles here will be categorized as super hard. But still, we wanted some progression, making the first one
super easy,
and then increase the difficulty slightly as you go further up in the prison.
So we picked up a shiv now, and we basically interacting with this prisoner, and now we get one of our decision points: to either mercy kill the prisoner or do not mercy kill the prisoner. And we can actually do something interesting, and we can check on what the world has chosen. And we can see that 66% of the world has chosen to mercy kill the prisoner, and 34% have chosen to not do it. And 3 of our friends, actually, Maya, Gabrielle, and Isabella, have all chosen to mercy kill the prisoner. So we're going to go with that option.
May the goddess ease your journey into the next life.
And what we can do, we can sort of discuss this option with our friends. We're giving sort of a social element to the single-player story-based experience. By letting you see what the world has chosen and what your friends have chosen, it creates not only a decision point, but a discussion point. And that's really important for us. All of the decision points in the game can be shared. You don't have to, you can turn that functionality off, but I think it's something that players will really enjoy, to be able to connect with your friends and see what they have done, and to discuss it with them, and to make it a shared social experience, playing this game the way you want to play it.
Upwards, ever upwards.
So now we're reaching the next floor, and we'll soon find out that there's another locked gate.
Down there,
so
find fiery
they
death.
will understand. We hope that that's sort of the puzzle, and the captain will also explain to you, like, we need to go upwards.
Ever upwards.
Ever
What did you mean, repay a debt?
You damn near wiped us out, boy. Your last-minute reversal didn't help save
So
anyone.
through this whole sequence, this escape, you're getting pieces of the story, a sort of a recap of what happened to this character, Kian Alvane, in the previous game, which is great for, I think, both for old players and new players, because, you know, it's been a while since the previous game, so even the people who did play the previous game, they probably have forgotten a lot of what happened.
Now, find a way to open this bloody door.
Just wanted to mention this
Long and
quite
thin
often,
typical
like, you're not
white
always locked in a dialogue. Here you can roam around and look around while the captain is talking to you.
The infamous broom, Martin.
Yeah, as you usually said, as long as you can pick it up, then you probably should pick it up in an adventure game. But basically, if you would have tried to open the gate behind you, it would have said it's locked and we need to find a way to open it. So now we have a broom. I guess
I'm actually going to go and try something first, because we do have something thin and long.
Yeah, you can try it.
Shadow be damned. It broke.
Oh no,
The blade
that's
worked
too
better as a
easy.
weapon than a
It's got to be more complicated than that.
We try to support all the things that players want to do in the game, obviously. But, you know, we need to have some challenges. So now the challenge is to figure out how to pick that lock. You can talk to the captain here as you're escaping as well, to fill in more of the story. You don't have to. We're leaving a lot of the story for you to discover and to dig into at will, without forcing it on you.
What they have planned.
We think that's the right way to go. We know that there are many different types of players out there. Some people are now really curious on how to open that door, and some people would like to know more about what's going on in this world. So cater for both worlds, I guess.
We, of course, love the people who want to dig more into the story, because we've created that option, so we want people to find it. So we found an unlocked cell, and we're going to take a peek out the window.
And you hear the guards outside seeing the prisoner in the window and trying to shoot arrows at
Sooner
him.
or
Basically.
later, one of those arrows will pierce my skull.
We're missing the sounds for the guards there, but as you can see, they're sort of firing arrows. And you can keep doing this, and Kian will
Surrounded by soldiers.
comment on it
Mostly
as you do
Azadi
it.
troops, it looks like.
Obviously, you're not solving the puzzle by doing it, but you're getting a clue.
Also, fun fact: this is Zoe's old cell.
Is it?
Yeah.
God has saved me. I'm playing the Dolmari gamble with my
Oh,
life.
you don't want to play the Dolmari gamble with your life. It's dangerous stuff.
God has saved me.
You're
I'm
really
playing the
testing your
Dolmari
luck.
gamble with my life.
Here we have a pillow.
A filthy pillow.
Filthy pillow.
Yeah. Hasn't really been washed in a while. Not since Zoe was there, I guess. So now we got a broom and a pillow, and it says on the screen now, use one item on another to combine. I guess that's a clue.
So you get the old broom and a pillow on a stick.
It's very popular in Norway, pillow on a stick, especially during the holiday season.
That's what we do, really.
And by using this, we fool those guards into firing a couple of more arrows, and voila!
A lock.
It's undamaged and thin enough to fit in a lock. I should be able to open the gate with
So
this.
the captain gives you friendly hints to what your next action could potentially be. Keep in mind that this is quite early in the game, where we need to teach players the different mechanics of the game. And
You call that a clue? It basically says pick the lock with the arrow. It's not just giving you a clue, it's giving you the solution.
the clue. Let's go upwards.
Are you ready for the third floor, Martin?
I am Ragnar. Ever upwards. We might actually meet an old acquaintance here.
The same old acquaintance or a new one?
It's actually the same.
Why, if it isn't our old friend Mr. Murren.
Balse, back him. I should have known you wouldn't have let yourself get caught so easily.
You're damn right. Now let us through.
I'm afraid that's quite impossible, Balse. Your journey ends here, I'm afraid.
There's no picking this one. He's plugged it from his side. By the Mojal's unclean genitals, Warden! Open up right this bloody minute!
Words, Mr. Bakim. You know very well I do not respond to threats.
May the Mojal befoul your filthy arsehole, Murren! Let us through right bloody now!
This is not a
When I
PG
get my
rated
hands on
game,
you,
is it?
Warden, you will wish your grandmother had never spread her legs to your grandfather. One day, Murren, we will see you garroted in front of this entire
Well,
city.
at this point, we're encountering our first dialogue puzzle, I guess we can call it, or dialogue challenge. Remember earlier when we talked about having to listen to the warden in Kian's cell? Did you listen? Well, you know, aside from the fact that you can't listen when we're talking incessantly on top of it. But if you had listened, you would know how to navigate this dialogue.
People like him only respond to violence and threats.
This is also important to mention that
I should treat him as
if
such.
you actually didn't pay attention, we will
Claims to be a
do some
rational
things to help you
pragmatist.
through. It's not like you need
Maybe I
to
give him too much
load your
credit
recent
and
save
maybe he
games
doesn't
and
deserve it.
listen to the conversation over again.
attempt to
But
reason
it
with
really
him.
helps you
See if he
just
responds to
paying
that.
attention. Then you actually do know the answers to
We
these
reward
questions.
you for
Yeah.
listening, but we don't punish you for not listening. You'll still be able to get through it, but here you basically have to remember
and I shall be
what the
lenient and
warden
merciful.
said about himself.
They
That he's
won't
a
give you the same
pragmatic man, a man
consideration.
of reason.
I see.
He's told you at least a couple of times that he doesn't respond well to threats.
He has, and he does not.
He does not.
So here we can try to reassure him, we can tell him to trust us, or we can try a practical argument.
I was the apostle. I was always true
And
to my
again, we're
word.
getting in sort of an inner monologue and an insight into what Kian is thinking with
Why
each
should he
line
not
here.
trust me?
And these lines also fill in a bit of the
Doesn't the warden
backstory.
claim to be a practical man? If that's the case, he would listen to a practical argument.
And I think
I
a
will just have to
practical
phrase
argument
myself
is
carefully.
probably the way to go, isn't it, Martin?
He's not likely
It
to
is.
fold easily.
That is the right.
Think carefully about
Not
this,
that,
warden.
not that we would know.
My
but,
leniency is your only hope at this point.
so we're going with the practical argument.
But as you may imagine, I didn't rise to my position by taking people
But
at their word,
the warden
particularly in a prison.
doesn't
Honesty
necessarily
is a
take people's words for it.
Short supply in here.
But you can tell from the dialogue that he's
Men
sort
of
of
his
becoming
station
a
can
bit
be
more lenient.
Is warming up to Kian at this
Yeah.
point.
And faith.
So now we have four
Only
options.
in
We
the
can
power
appeal
of
to his sense
office
of family, we can threaten his family, we can try to
If I
bribe
offer
him,
to buy him, I'm sure he will be swayed.
or we can just try to
Filthy
hurry things
maggot
along.
that he is. What did he say about family again? He
I do
may
think
treasure his office above
he
his
mentioned
blood,
something about being a family
but
man.
maybe he will
He
listen to
did,
reason if I
how
appeal
much
to
he
his
sort of
sense of
pressures his
family.
family.
You are a family man, Murren, are you not? Do you wish to see them left fatherless? If not for yourself, then do this for your family. Open up.
My family is important to me. I would not want my boys to grow up without a father. Their mother lacks the moral fortitude needed to instill duty and backbone in them. God forgive her. She's a good woman, but merely a woman. Very well, you make a fair point. I will trust you despite my better instincts. Step back, Alvani.
Praise your gods, I don't have time for you now, Murren. But your day will come.
Alright, let's move on. But, oh wait.
Bam! You didn't see that one coming.
I did not. So here we have another decision point. And this one is a time one. So you need to make a decision now before Kian makes it for you. We can see that 42% of the world chose to kill Warden Murren and 58% let him live. Our friends are bloodthirsty because we have 3 friends who chose to kill him. Yep. But, you know, we're good people. I think we're gonna let him live.
I rid the world of a piece of sadistic vermin who sold out his own people.
Look who's talking.
And this has major consequences actually in the game. But some of those consequences won't really be apparent for another 3 or 4 hours of the gameplay, I think. Some actually you'll have to wait until the very end of the game. Then the game is about 10 to 12 hours long to find out what the repercussions are. And that's really important to us, to make these consequences felt over time, to really make you question every single decision you make.
To show the players the consequences of their actions.
And that they matter.
Yeah. But here, new floor.
Maybe a challenge.
New challenge. Maybe the most difficult one. I don't know.
I didn't say I wanted to leave this place.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Actually, I think probably the pillow and arrow. It's between the two.
But basically here the staircase ends. But there is a gate here that takes you up to the roof of the prison.
I trust your allegiance to your people.
But there is no key to this door, is there, Martin?
Nope. No matter how long you spend searching for a key on this floor, you won't find one. But
there's another solution.
Yes, you'll find something else. Now, you need to be a bit more creative
somehow. The gate won't get us there, and anyway, it's blocked. We need to find another way up. I got you this far, Kian. Now you need to put that Azadi brain of yours to work, and quick.
I also have to add here that we haven't placed out every interactable item in the game yet. So right now it seems like whatever you can interact with is the solution to the puzzle, which is correct in this playthrough, but it won't be in the final game.
You'll have a lot more stuff to interact with, to look at, to poke at, to play with.
Yeah. But basically here we found an elevator shaft. It's used for sending food up and down the prison.
A food elevator, I guess?
You can call it that.
And we tried to climb it, but it's oily and we can't get a grip on it. So we have a napkin. Should try to polish it off a little bit.
Yeah.
But that doesn't help us anything. It gives us just an oil-soaked napkin.
And that might be a clue for some.
Mm-hmm.
There's a candle. So I was hoping that people will think of creative ways of removing oils from stuff. And fire is one of those. So if you combine the napkin with the candle,
it put out the candle.
We need a bigger flame.
We need a bigger flame.
Famous last words.
And there we go. We got ourselves a torch. I don't think it's that hard.
No, maybe not.
Oh, clever boy. I knew you wouldn't disappoint me. You first. If that chain's still hot, I want some
He's
warning.
a smart man, the captain. Doesn't want to touch that chain. I wouldn't either. But Kian, of course, is a manly man and is also very sweaty at this point. It probably gives us some insulation against the heat.
What are we doing here? Where's our cloud ship?
We need to buy ourselves some time. Quick, block that gate.
And this is also a timed sequence, so basically you have to do things quite quickly here to avoid the guards barging through that door.
Now arm yourself.
As you can see, they're starting to bang on the gate at this point.
Come over
Just
here
in
now.
time.
By the Mojal's bloated tested, stop fucking about and get your ass over here, boy.
How will we escape? I thought you'd have a ship waiting.
A ship? No, boy. Your way out of here is not on a cloud ship, but through a portal created by the very magic your people are trying to stamp out.
My way.
Only one of us can pass through that portal before it closes, and it requires a sacrifice. It's dark magic. It requires blood. It requires a life.
No. No. I cannot accept your sacrifice. Either both of us leave or neither.
Don't be a Mojal damned fool, boy. I've made my peace with the gods. Can you say the same? Besides, I may be a decent fighter, but without you, the resistance will falter and the Azadi will be victorious. So, take that sword and take my head so that you can get out of here and start paying your debts. Just do me the favor of a quick and clean death.
So a new decision point, and a tough one this time. Do we kill the captain or don't we? 92% of people chose to kill the captain.
Wow.
8% didn't, but 3 of our friends didn't kill the captain.
Goddess, forgive me.
We're gonna do it.
A clean strike, boy!
Just a reminder that this is pre-alpha and the cinematics here are very much work in progress. There's a lot of work still left to do on this. But a portal opens up. And just in the nick of time, I guess.
The guards barge through the door. Kian is shot through the portal.
And scene.
And see.
So Dreamfall Chapters is coming out in November 2014. And again, what you just saw was a pre-alpha version of Dreamfall Chapters. Work in progress. Still got a year to go, so there's lots of work still left to do. Follow us on Facebook or Twitter and visit our website to get more information about the game.
And thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, thanks. It's been a pleasure showing you this very first gameplay walkthrough of Dreamfall Chapters.